And that, in large part, is what this election in November will be about. You know, I know that during this campaign, in the primaries, there have been some worries about whether or not the Democratic Party will be divided after it's all over. There's been thinking, well, you know, are the Clinton folks going to support the Obama folks? And are the Obama folks going to get together with the Clinton folks? And let me tell you something. First of all, Senator Clinton has run an outstanding race. She is an outstanding public servant, and she and I will be working together in November. That's number one. But the other reason I know the Democratic Party will be unified is because no matter what else happens, come November, when you go into that polling place, the name George W. Bush will not be on the ballot. And I think all of us will be unified in making sure that George Bush's economic policies and George Bush's foreign policies are also not going to the White House. Because unfortunately, as much as I admire John McCain, John McCain is a genuine American hero. He is running for George Bush's third term. That's why this election is going to be so important. John McCain says we've made, and this is a quote, we've made great progress economically over these past 8 years. And he's promising to do more of the same. This is what he said. He looked at Bush's economic record. He said, we've made great progress. I don't know who he was talking to. He wasn't talking to Doreen and all her fellow union workers who had lost their jobs. He's not talking to the folks in the state of Michigan. He's not talking to the speaker. He's not talking to the 47 million people without health insurance in this country. He's not talking to the millions of additional people who have fallen into poverty while George Bush has been in office. He's not talking to you, and he's not talking to me, and that's why we can't afford to let John McCain spend 4 more years with the same economic policies of George W. Bush. Understand, since George Bush took office, we've gone through the first period of sustained economic growth since World War II, where the average income of an American family had actually gone down by $1,000. Think about that. Even when corporate profits were up, even when the economy was growing as a whole, your average wages were going down by up to $1,000. 7 million more Americans don't have health care. 1 million more Americans are out of work. Millions of families are facing foreclosure because nobody was regulating the mortgage lending industry. You are working harder. You're working harder for less. You're paying more for everything from college tuition to health care premiums to a gallon of milk to a gallon of gas. Now, to me, that is not great progress. That is a cause for concern and an impetus for change. Yet Senator McCain wants to double down on the Bush economic plan rather than reforming an unfair tax system and offering the middle class some relief. He's offering more tax loopholes for corporations and the wealthy that we just can't afford, rather than making health care affordable for every American, like I've proposed. He's offering a health care plan that puts coverage at risk and that's designed for folks who are healthy and wealthy. Rather than standing up for robust trade that works for all Americans, as I do, he's supporting more trade deals that work for Wall Street but not for Main Street. Understand, there's a reason the problems we face today are so much bigger than they were several years ago. A big part of it is that George Bush and John McCain have been so focused on pursuing a flawed and costly war in Iraq that they've lost sight of the problems that have been mounting here in Michigan and here at home. They have not been tending to the issues here in Michigan, here in Troy, here in the United States of America. Instead of working to fix our economy and lift up hardworking families, they fought to extend a war that has cost us thousands of precious lives and hundreds of billions of dollars, and that has not made us more safe. A war that strengthened our enemies and distracted us from the need to go after bin Laden and the rest of Al-Qaeda. Just to put this in perspective, for what taxpayers here in Oakland County have spent in Iraq, you could be providing health care for 90,000 people, or offering 200,000 college scholarships for Michigan students, or hiring 30,000 more elementary school teachers. That's just for the money that you have spent in Iraq. And now it seems like all Senator McCain is talking about on this campaign trail is Iraq, instead of offering real solutions to the problems that you're facing every day. Senator McCain conceded not too long ago that he didn't know too much about the economy. That's not his interest. That's not his priority. But I want you to know, Troy, Michigan, it will be my interest and it will be my priority when I'm President of the United States of America. I want an end to a war that's costing America $10 billion a month, and begin to use that money to invest in rebuilding our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, investing in science and research, investing in a new electricity grid to get alternative energy to places that are needed, to create broadband lines so that every community can tap into the internet superhighway. If people tell you we can't afford those things to rebuild Michigan, to put it back on top, you just remind them we are spending $10 billion a month in Iraq. We can spend some of that money right here in Troy, Michigan. That's the choice in this election. Are we going to continue the failed Bush-McCain economic policies and remain mired in an endless and costly conflict in Iraq? Or will we change course and focus on problems that working families in Michigan and across America are facing every single day? I believe strongly that we are on the wrong path and that we need new priorities. And so when people ask me, why are you running this time? I explain we can't afford to wait to fix our schools. We can't afford to wait to fix our healthcare system. We can't wait to create a strong economy with good jobs that pay good benefits. We cannot afford to wait to end this war in Iraq. We cannot wait, and that's why I'm running for President of the United States right here and right now. But I want to say this, though. The reason I decided to run was also because I was betting on you. I was betting on you, the American people, because I was convinced that the American people were tired of a politics that's all about tearing each other down. You want a politics that's about lifting the country up.